Okay, this tutorial is about how to combine two images from different scopes. One is a larger aperture and the other one is a smaller one, which is a refractor, and the other one is an RC10. Now I have two images here, a wide. Now this is a the Leo triplet. This is going to be my reference image, and I also took NJC 3628, which is the hamburger galaxy, I believe, and you want this to stitch in there. You don't want to average when you combine them, because it will defeat the purpose. You want the full detail retained on the bigger aperture. As you can see here, the details and the noise is better compared to when you magnify the refractor, which is the wide field. You don't see that much of a detail, just blurry. Okay, so you want to stitch but not combined, not average. So that's the idea. So before you do this, make sure that both images that you stacked are calibrated and no vignetting in it. If you have vignetting on it, fix it first using dynamic background extraction or automatic background extraction, whatever works, as long as you don't want to see a vignetting in there. Okay. You also notice that the RC10 telescope, the stars have diffractions, and on the refractor, those stars are just round, no diffractions. So we can tell if we stitch them together, we should see a diffraction on those stars here after we stitch them. So now that we have the two images, there's also another problem that we see here. One is darker than the other, right? So before you do that, you need to match these two shades of gray and darkness between the two. You don't need to be accurate, just eyeball is fine. So let's open screen transfer function, and then histogram transformation. Okay, let's make the darker ones a little brighter. How about like that? How's that? Okay, good. Execute and reset your histogram. Okay, now they match. You save this image. Okay, now that you have two identical shades image there, at least to my eye, what you need to do is register using this as your reference. You want to register this image here. In order for you to do that, you have to open up star alignment. Okay, leave everything default. Okay, you don't want Pixinsight to also look at the stars here because there's nothing. What you want to do is match the field of view here where the Pixinsight will search for stars when you register. Okay, I think that's enough. Yeah, it's good enough. Now your reference image will be the preview. Okay, and then what you want to do is just drag this triangle here and that will register this image. Okay, here we go. Okay, as you can see, it matches there. All right, now what we need to do with this image is going to save this. We're going to save this as panel 1. So so you don't get lost, you can create a folder called panels. I usually put 1_panels to indicate that this is my first process. Okay, and I'm gonna name that panel 1. Save it as 32-bit is fine. I usually drizzle my Galaxy images because it is better always. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm not drizzling this too because it will take longer to process a little bit. Okay, so we have the panels folder, and we save our first registered panel and called panel 1. Okay, we can close this, we can close that. Now what are we gonna do next? Well, we're going to create multiple panels overlapping to complete one image. This is a very important. So open up preview again, click that preview button, and we're gonna register this part of the image. Don't hit the galaxy there. You don't want to use that because you want the full image there. You can probably use here. You can just go here, but don't hit the stars here because it will also have problems when you stitch them together. Avoid stars in your lines there as much as possible. Okay, once you create a panel 2, you can right click on the preview number 2 and make image, and you call this panel 2. Okay, what you want to do is save this as panel 2, 32-bit. Now we need this area as well, so preview again. You don't want to hit the hamburger galaxy, and make image on the preview number 3 called panel 3. All right, and save it. Okay. All right. You don't want to stop here. You think that you covered all the panels, but if you recall, our panel 1 has a black space here. So when you combine all 3 of them, you're gonna have an image like almost complete, but with a black bar here on the top. So you're gonna create another preview and create an image for that black bar. Okay. I don't know why my arrow is oops. You can just, you don't want to hit that. Okay, so that I can, you want to pick up some stars so it will align properly. So our reference image is only the preview 2, so we can probably do I think that should be enough stars there. Okay, and make image on that preview 4 and call this panel 4. Save it as panel 4. Right. Now close everything out. Go back to your wide field, which is your reference. Okay. What you want to do next on these panels is register them one by one to line up with your template. So when you open this reference image, I usually save this as a template. So called template. Okay, save that. Just for me to remember. Okay, this is the template. You want to register panel 1, which is this one. Okay, again, you need to create a preview, so Pixinsight will only look at this area here when you register. Okay, make sure that your reference image is the preview and leave everything as is and drag. Okay, now this is the registered image. Save that into a folder called mosaic panels. So for me, I'll name that number 2 underscore mosaic panels. Okay, that means it's the second step. Save that. So as you can see here, you have panel 1 registered. Okay, close everything out. You want to register panel 2. Just open it, and this is the part here. So move your preview here. And then drag to register this image. Alright, and save this image as panel 2 registered. Okay, close this. We don't need that. We don't need this. Now the panel 3. And that's the lower part here. Okay, and drag again. Then file, save that. As panel 3 registered. Close. And the last one is panel 4, which is the top one. And register it. Okay, and save it. Okay, so if you have RGB channels, you do one for green, you do one for blue, same process. Okay, now that you have everything registered, you can close everything. Next thing you need to open, if you look at here, if you look at all my panels, they all have a black background. That means that they are fully registered to line up. Okay. What you want to do next is open up process, go to gradient domain and gradient merge mosaic. Okay. I already used that before. So now what you want to do is highlight all your images from the mosaic panels and drag. Now here is very important. You can leave this as 0, leave the average, radius is 10, the feather, and shrink radius is 1. If you execute this, you might get problems with the higher focal length. It will create a line most of the time. Let's see if you can look here. If you go close up, you can see the lines here. See, that's no good. But you know that you already stitched the picture. You're not going to see the rest of the lines here because they are the same image. You just cut them and re-stitch them together. But the idea is you don't want to overlap the higher focal length to the original wide field and average them, because then you defeat the purpose. This will become like kind of crappy. It's not a real stitch. As you can see, there's also diffractions in the stars here. That means that we did it right. To get rid of these lines, all you have to do is increase this black point to maybe 10 or 20, 0.020, and run it again. All right, here we go. As you can see here, right? As you can see, there's no lines. You will never see the lines, and because usually the skies, you usually turn it darker. Even if it's bright, you're not gonna see the lines. But if you really know where to look, if you stretch them, you can see right here the noise signature of the wide field and the higher is different. But Pixinsight is pretty good on stitching them together. Okay, so this is it, and the stars are also have the diffractions in it. So this is the final image of one of your channels. I usually just do the luminance, because luminance is the only very important on the final process to get all the details. But now if you look at the we can compare now, right? We're gonna compare it with our original wide field. Okay, this is the process, and our original one is this one. And let's magnify them. Okay, and magnify this. Okay, and that's how you do it. Okay, thank you.